Had to make sure I got 3 live streams scheduled so far. Had to make sure that I got the right one, and I did. Note, by the way, that I didn't say, hold on a second, guys. Note that I didn't say that. Sometimes it's just as important the things I don't say as it is the things that I do say. Just keep that in mind. The ways of a teacher are often mysterious and seldom understood in their own time. Just saying. Hey, Danny. Hi, Selma. Who else we got here? Hey, Ellie. I don't know if I'd use the word amazing, but hey, that's Joshua's word. We can't use that word. Pizza and soda, huh? Sounds good, Selma. Danny and Kat. I'm glad you're having a great day, Danny. You deserve to have a great day. I had a good workout. I missed my longer, faster walks. I just can't walk fast in the ice. As far as I know, my new insurance has not kicked in. Don't want to take any chances. I don't want to take any chances with insurance. So, Kat, you still here? You were right. I do have someone scheduled for it's the second time today. I said you were right. But I hope this doesn't become a habit. Um, I do have someone scheduled for Sunday, and that is the course student and the channeler for Jesus. I'm interested in people who channel Jesus, um, and if there is a differing message between them. I think it should be rather obviously. I believe that everything is filtered through the mind of the channeler. Kat says you're hilarious, Yogi. I think she says that with just a bit of sarcasm. Sometimes things can translate in print. They often say that uh, things are lost in text when we're communicating. Um, Sometimes I think things can be communicated quite nicely. Hey, Lady Sky. Red Bull Princess, how are you, my friend? Guys, are you subscribed to Red Bull Princess? Remember, she had to restart her channel, so you think you might have been, but you might not have been. Oh, it says, how are you all? It's a good question. How are you all? Um, so yeah, someone who is channeling, especially someone who is known. It's a big thing. If you're channeling from the 80s, if you're channeling a um, celestial group intelligence, if you're channeling angels, then no one really knows what that message might sound like, right? If you were channeling a familiar figure, if you're channeling Jesus, then we can expect the message to be consistent from one channel to another, right? So we have had Tina, and the message from Jesus is very, if not entirely, consistent with the voice of Helen and, of course, miracles, the voice of Jesus through Helen and, of course, miracles. Um, I suspect that our friend Erin, I've watched some of her videos, that it's going to be the same with her. I will let you know her name. Give me a second. Erin Michelle. I wish I could drop links, guys, but I can't because it just comes back to here, my channel. Cat is out with the chickens, so I will mostly be out of the chat. Got you. Give me a second, guys. Aaron Michelle Galato. Galito. Galito. If any of you guys would like to look it up. Um, Aaron Michelle Galito is a mystic and spiritual channel for the Master Jesus. Aaron Michelle delivers messages of wisdom, peace, joy, hope, and love that lovingly and firmly guide humanity to return to God and the oneness of all. She has dedicated her life to delivering the message and teachings of light that Jesus has for the world. He will be here Sunday. Looking forward to it. I look forward to all my guests. Ellie says, if you had lunch, I have had lunch. Oh gosh, Erin Michelle, I think I do remember her now. Yogi, that's exciting. So, Kat, you're my go-to person for you're always my go-to person. I go to you for the little things, friendly voice, to have someone tell me that they love me, for conversations about everything. I mean everything. But anyway, specifically, you are my go-to person for uh, all things channeling because um, mostly for me, I've been fairly selective in the channel material that I read. When I wanted to consider joining the Swami Order of Self-Realization Fellowship, Paramahansa Yogananda, way back in the day. I don't know how serious I was, but it was a consideration. I was very much into the teachings of Kriya Yoga. I wanted to get into the deeper aspects of it. But one of the things that were not permitted, you had to basically swear allegiance to the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, which isn't that much of a problem because I did enjoy him so much. But you had to say that you would not study other paths of yoga. Specifically, you also would not study any channel material. Around that time, I had just started with A Course in Miracles. I also enjoyed the Seth material. I actually read those well before uh, Autobiography of a Yogi. The books of Emmanuel, which were really good. Uh, so I couldn't make that promise. So yeah, Ellie, I had my lunch, my dinner, my big meal. Danny says, Yogi, I want to apologize when I told you that Nature Dog Realm had hide me from my channel. I forgive her and I forgive one other. Hey, Danny, you never have to apologize to me, my friend. What did I have for lunch? I had uh, brown rice, lentils, uh, served with steamed kale and broccoli, and two bananas. It was big. It's a big meal. It's a lot of rice, a lot of lentils. It was garnished with a few other things that I will not mention for reasons that they would be held against me by everyone. Hey, Joshua. So tonight, Lucy's going to be up. She's going to pull some cards. Get your card ready. Tomorrow, Sniper is going to open up the doors to the Esoteric Lounge. I believe we missed it last week. It was good, Ellie. Thank you. It's always nutritious. Joshua, how are you? Eating my lunch, garden veggie soup with crackers. Nice. It sounds healthy, too. Hey, Country. Country says, Danny, hi. Ellie says she's not bad, Joshua, just trying to figure out my medication. Cat's laughing. It says not rice. Yes, rice. A a big ass bowl of rice. Joshua says, I'm doing amazing. How are you, Yogi? Thanks for asking. I'm doing good. Just shy of amazing. Like right there. If amazing was here, I'd be right like that. Tilting towards it. My soup has rice in it, Cat and Jack. Hey. Danny says Joshua is always amazing. I agree with you. Um, so I hope you guys check out Aaron Michelle, Galito. How would you pronounce that? I could ask her. I will ask her. I always ask them backstage so I don't mess up. And then I practice it a few times and they say, yep, you got it. And then I press the go button and immediately mispronounce it. Um, I had thought about talking about inspiration. And we can go with that with channeling. I think in order to actually be a channel, you need to be open to inspiration, divine inspiration. You could, and many do, consider many aspects of the Bible to be channeled. Probably the Song of Solomon. This is why they call it divine inspiration. Pat's on a mission. Jeremy, how are you? Pat's on a mission is Jeremy and Cheryl. Guys, I hope you subscribe. I hope you support them. Uh, both cruising is fun anytime, as well Hats on a mission, because Hats on a mission literally is on a mission to add warmth uh, to as many people in need of warmth as possible. Hey, Stinkbug. Ellie says she's okay, Mr. Joshua. Ellie says one of the ingredients of my meds have a shortage and it could be at least 4 months. Wow, that's not good. As well, much of the information from uh, yoga, the Upanishads, are really channel material. Uh, we talked about this before. People come in and they want to have a yoga off. Their yoga is more profound, more powerful, more in depth, more certified than my yoga. And yet, every single aspect of yoga came from people who went out into the woods and got very quiet and they listened and they listened and they listened and they listened deeper and deeper and deeper into such profound silence that they heard the universe itself speak in the language of vibration. They heard the great Om. They heard 108 primordial sounds that became mantras. They heard the literal wisdom, the intelligence of the universe itself, giving them the Upanishads, the Vedas, uh, and they watched animals. They watched animals stretched. And because they were able to see, as Chickbook says, they only have a black belt in yoga. So indeed, your yoga is more powerful than mine. Stinkbook says, I love you, baby. Or I'm sorry, Country says, I love you, baby. To Stinkbook. Um, because if you ever to get really quiet, our shaman, who was on earlier in the week, what was it, Monday, said that it was, did you say 10 seconds? You could be quiet, deeply quiet, meaning traveling beneath the thoughts. Hey, Rich, can you leave America and give Native Americans their land back? Could I? Probably. Oh, you asked me, could I or would I? Could I? I could do a whole lot of stuff. I'm capable of a great many things. Um, so yeah, imagine that, you know, shamanistic download occurring in 10 seconds. And then you had these great yogis who were able to be quiet for hours upon hours upon hours. And they watched animals and they watched animals move and they saw this shimmering luminosity, energy that they described as, gave it a term, prana, realizing that same life force, that same life energy that animated the bodies of animals and that they could stretch and actually regenerate, rejuvenate, enrich their beingness by performing certain moves. And they tried them. And they tried them with specific breathing exercises that they downloaded from that silence, from the intelligence of the universe. And they increased their own prana. And as their prana increased, the silence increased. And thus we have yoga. They became yogis. A yogi is anyone who is sincere in their practice of yoga. And don't let anyone define yoga for you. Now, of course, it should meet certain perimeters because yoga itself means union, join. If you are doing a practice, if you're bowling, and if you're bowling with the intent to join with the divine, to realize your innate oneness with everything that is happening in the function of tossing a ball down a narrow alley and knocking over as many pins as possible, which for me was about 2, maybe 3 on a good day, that's yoga. If you are practicing A Course in Miracles in the full sincerity of offering forgiveness moment by moment by moment, you're practicing yoga. I may not be a black belt in yoga, but I can kick some serious yoga butt. That's for sure. Stephen says Star Wars wasn't fiction when it comes to the Force. Greetings, beautiful souls. Hey, Jennifer. Uh, hey, Yogi Hood. You're good. Hey, Hood. You're good. I am good. Hope you're good. I am good, my friend. Thank you. Did I miss Carl come in? Hey, Carl. Hi from the Coca-Cola shop. Carl, if you would be so kind as to pick me up a case of Coca-Cola while you're there. Coca says, have I missed the shaman? Yes, the shaman was on Monday, but I have another shaman. I have a quantum shaman coming up tomorrow. If you go to Homelight, HOMELIGHT, that's one word, healing, you will find Nadine. Nadine. I've never met Nadine, but she is good friends with one of my best friends uh, that I've been friends with for 20 plus years. She might have been her and her son might have been the very last person to see my mother alive. They were at the hospice just after I left. When we got home in the middle of the night, we were given a phone call that my mother had passed away. Jennifer says, I feel so heavy and sore. Been painting all day. Painting is tiring, isn't it? So tiring and being 16 stones, 5'7" though. I still haven't had your bus driver friend up. He needs to reach out to me. I'm hitting the big time now, Carl. People are reaching out to me. Contracts are signed. Lawyers are involved. It's a big thing. So here's Nadine's description. Nadine is a quantum shaman helping the planet and all its inhabitants. That's you. That's me too. Uh, activate their latent DNA, assisting the evolutionary process to higher consciousness through ancient and new sound technology and light language. Light language. Does that sound like the yoga that we were talking about? Sound is a powerful way to attune ourselves with the inside out and to help us connect and align with our surroundings. Light language is the language of higher consciousness, bypassing the egoic mind, directing its frequency straight to our body's innate knowing, divine communication to all things seen and unseen. Nadine shares her light codes and channeled work for free. So if you resonate and get called to do so, you can donate. She has a Substract. She has Buy Me Coffee. Cool. She will be up on. She'll be up tomorrow, Thursday afternoon, 1 o'clock. This guy says 11 days until the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Go Patriots! Patriots rock. That was kind of you to say, ladies guy. I can't believe that you were rooting for the Patriots when you know we have a bet. And you know you're going to have to sing the song that I pick. But hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you standing by me, rooting for my team. Hey, Prophet Muhammad. It's a lot of stuff you wrote, my friend. Got a lot of, you know, exclamation points and whatnot. Hey, Anna. So, Sniper, what do you think of this for Esoteric Lounge? Can you offer a synopsis? Mainly because I like using the word synopsis. Can you offer a synopsis of um, maybe one aspect of what you're working on? The reason I say one aspect is because then I thought following week you might want to open it up to the next aspect and maybe put several aspects in a row and we can make it interactive so that people can be, as you present it, people can ask some questions. And then after you've offered these synopsize, tie it all together in one longer presentation. Cat says, "Goodbye, Carl. Have a wonderful day. Say hello to the C shop and the bus driver." How's my walk? My walk was good, Anna. It's not super fast, and I'm not seeing a lot of wildlife. Although I did see a fox yesterday. Just the snow has been. We had free rain over top of the snow, so it's thick and it's glossy and it's slippery, and everything that's melted on the roads, the sidewalks, and the bike paths um, are slippery, full of ice. So I got to be careful. Hey, Heavenly, how are you? Did I miss Sissy? Is she here? Cat says he did reach to the yogi. Where did he reach out to me? No messages, no email. He never calls. He never writes. Bus drivers. You used to be able to count on a bus driver to get in touch with you. Not anymore, guys. Cat says maybe if he just try to come in and be friendly. The bus driver. Goodbye, Carl, my friend. Hey, Solo. Where is your link? My link is everywhere. I'm connected. I'm tuned in. Josh was doing amazing in it. Thank you for asking. Ladies guy says, does anyone buy French vanilla coffee creamer to put in your coffee? Nope. I drink my coffee black, and I like it strong. Now they do have vegan creamer. But again, I just like it black. Hey, Daisy. Daisy, how are you? Guys, our good friend Kelly is here. Miss Daisy May 35. One of the calmest channels on all of YouTube. I mentioned this before. Uh, Daisy May, Nature's Dog Realm, Cat and Jack. Uh, they have created something very unique. That little aisle reminds me, it's just an opportunity to read it. I'm going to read it again. I think maybe Sniper might know where I'm heading with this. Um, Daisy May reminds me of Herman Melville. What an odd thing to say, right? Nature's Dog Realm reminds me of Herman Melville, Cat and Jack, as well. Don't look at me like that, like I'm crazy. For one, you guys already know. Um, but this is why. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. Here's the quote. Consider all this, and then turn to the green, gentle, and most docile earth. Consider them both the sea and the land, and do you not find a strange analogy to something in yourself? For in this appalling ocean surrounds the verdant land, so in the soul of man there lies one insular Tahiti, full of peace and joy, but encompassed by all the horrors of the half-known life. Gonna unpack that. This is what I mean about um, Daisy and Chris and Kat. The internet can sometimes be a very disconcerting place. The internet, YouTube, YouTube chats in particular, uh, can be an appalling ocean of negativity, of cruelty, of people saying all kinds of stuff towards each other, right? But in this appalling ocean of internet messiness, there was an insular Tahiti, an isle of peace and kindness where people come together and they just want to smile. This is what Daisy May has created. This is what Kat has created. This is what Chris has created. A little insular Tahiti. If I were to start my channel over again, I would do something similar, and I'd actually think I would name it an insular Tahiti. Maybe next time. You're welcome, Daisy. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Evan says, Eric, man, I have this week off, and it's giving me anxiety. I'm thinking of looking into another job, and it's bringing up own wounds. So let's explore that. What is it? Can you pinpoint what do you feel anxious about? Be kind is free. Absolutely, it is. Hey, Nikki. Kat says she's sorry if she missed anyone. Hello to all you beautiful people. Did I miss Lee come in? Hey, Jeff. There's Lee. Lee says, hey to Daisy May. It's the best coffee creamer, Bestie Lady Sky. What's that? What did I miss? He says, hey, Fair Yogi, I remember paying 32 piece for a bus ticket back in the day. 30, is that what, pence? How much is that in American money? It's probably like $1,600, right? It's an expensive bus ticket. Where were you going? Sigwick said, that's why I don't respond to negative stuff. I might sometimes, but I try to respond to negative stuff with kindness to the best that I'm able to, moment to moment. Every moment's going to be different. Joshua says, Yogi, I was looking in your store and just see you're selling the Course in Miracles. Is it going on sale tomorrow? I don't think so. However, the online version from Foundation for Inner Peace, which is the original publishers of the course, it's absolutely for free. And you can also get an app so that you can listen to it. Which I highly recommend. I highly recommend doing both. I think next time I will do that. Let me say, Yogi Bear, we got to do another stream together soon. I'm definitely. Although I got to be careful with you coming up singing because I hear that you sound so good now that YouTube is mistaking you for the original. Joshua, are you thinking about diving into the course? Joshua says listening is always good because some people have a different pace than others, and that helps with that sometimes. Agreed. I agree. Joshua says Sister Sarah is an amazing singer. She's also an amazing burpee practitioner. I heard she was doing Navy SEALs and what was it, one pumps? Evan says, I feel like too far behind and don't have the skills and don't connect with people like others. So too far behind what and whom, Evan? I think you're making unfair comparisons. Every comparison is a judgment, and every judgment is against yourself. So you are judging yourself as not being um, as skillful and not being able to connect the way other people do. You ever, you've heard me do the 4 questions. Katie Bryan. I think that this would be a good time to break them out. Think about doing this. Evan, let's take one aspect of that. Give me 1 second. Anna says, I dived into the course 28 days ago, Yogi. You're doing an amazing job. Appreciate you sticking with me. Anna, thank you. Joshua says, Yogi, I am because right now I'm trying to make myself better in any way possible. I've been a bit aggressive with my reactions to people, but it's not just about that. I have many reasons. So, Course in Miracles is really a course of undoing. You said you had a key word there, Joshua. Reactions. We don't have a choice in our reactions. There is no choice in a reaction. However, we can trade in our reactivity to responsibility, our ability to respond. When we respond, we're thoughtful. When we react, it's always based in fear. A reaction is good in a truly fearful situation. If you are being attacked by a grizzly bear, you'll want to react the ass off of it, man. You want to be full mode reaction. You want to fight and flight. Basically, you want probably flight. You're really out of luck because you're not going to outrun a grizzly bear and you're not going to outfight a grizzly bear. However, do what you can. Godspeed. But we're not really chased by grizzly bears that often. I mean, me every couple of weeks, but most people, we're not chased by grizzly bears. We're not hunting down mastodons. We're not avoiding saber-toothed tigers. We're simply going to work. We're simply driving to the store. We are simply going to the bank. Someone bumps into us. Someone cuts us off. The boss yells at us. Something happens in a relationship. And we react. We go from that rest and digest mode, the parasympathetic, to the sympathetic, fight and flight, like that. Reason is because we're always keyed up. We wake up in the morning, we pick up our phones, we start to doom scroll. We check messages. Did I hear from this person? Or I hope I don't hear from this person, or whatever. It doesn't take much. If we wake up and we're immediately at level 4, when we should be at a level 0 to 1, do some gentle breath work to keep us at 2. We go to work, we function, we might rise to 3. We do some more breath work, we go back down to 1. But we wake up and we're at a 4. And then we pick up our phone and we're at a 5. And then we drive and traffic's horrible, we're at a 6 or 7 before we even get to work. Boss yells at us, we're at an 8. We go home, the dog barks, we're at a 10. We're lashing out at everyone. We're reacting. That's, the Course says, is because we are relating fully to the ego. Believing we have no choice. You hurt me, I have to hurt you. You cut me off, I gotta cut you off. I gotta speed up, get behind you, and flip you off. I have to. My reputation's at stake. My reputation as the ego. The Course says that you can respond. You are responsiveness itself. You just don't know how. You've forgotten who you truly are. Same with Buddhism. Same with yoga. Hey, Tom. Tom, how are you? So, Evan, you still with us? Hey, Sissy. Sissy says, I feel everyone who has active channels here are all wonderful and creative. I agree, 100%. Everyone has presented something different, you know? Everyone has something beautiful to offer. Sissy's created a little isle of mystery, dropping truths, taking us into a deep dive into the mystery. All right, Evan. These are 4 questions to ask yourself. Let's start with the I don't connect with people. Let's start with that. And just ask yourself. Ask with a simple yes or no. Answer with a simple yes or no. Is it true? Is it true? You might say yes. It is true. It's true because I feel like that. I feel that it's true. I have some examples that prove that it's true. But can you absolutely know? Absolutely. Meaning there's not a shadow of a doubt. Not even a slim little chance that you could be wrong. Can you absolutely know that it is true? Not do you surmise, not do you suppose. Do you absolutely know that it is true? Question 3. How do you react when that happens? How do you act when you believe that thought? Evan, how do you act when you believe the thought that um, you don't connect with people? For me, if I had that thought that I didn't connect with people, I would feel isolated. I would feel alone. I would feel underappreciated. I would feel as if I was struggling to keep my head above water. Everyone else is swimming and I'm drowning. I'm drowning in my own self doubt. None of that's good, right? 4. I love this question. Who would you be without that thought? Evan, you still here? Who would you be without that thought that you struggle to connect with people? If that thought didn't exist, in the absence of that thought, who would you be? That's a huge turnaround. And speaking of turnarounds, now try to turn that thought around. Express the opposite. What if it was people struggle to connect with me? What if it was simply I do connect with people? Turn it around and explore those options. Just see how a mere shift of words, a mere shift of thoughts can begin to set you free. What if it's people have a hard time connecting with me? Can I be more open? Can I be more communicative? Can I be more maybe kinder? Can I bring in a box of donuts and offer them to my friends at work? I don't know. Just turn it around. Explore all these options. There's infinite turnarounds. All right, where are we? You can't be one unless you have a buggy whip. Why would anyone whip a buggy? I don't think we're kind enough to our inanimate objects. Falcon says the meaning of life is to love and be loved. There you go. Agreed. Anna says responding versus reacting. Danny says how to squirrel sniper. Tom, how are you, my friend? Danny says out of my current coffee creamer, Yogi. What's your current? What is your current? What's your favorite coffee creamer? Now I don't use vanilla, or I'm sorry, I don't use creamer. If I did, it might be that vanilla creamer that you're talking about, because I'm of the opinion everything is better with vanilla. Chocolate's okay. I don't mind chocolate, but vanilla. You guys remember the bare naked ladies? Pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice. Pumpkin's always good. Miss Daisy says, Still see Yogi listening in. The thing is, we are, because Anna says infinite turnarounds. We're conditioned to look at things in a particular way. We are convinced that I struggle to connect with people. We are convinced that uh, I'm out of my depth, that I'm behind. But we don't know what other people are thinking. We're stuck in that thought process, that self judgment, that we are this way. But in the absence of that thought, so if we were to take another, what were some of the other things that you offered there, Evan? Let's see. We know where our friend Barefoot's heading. Irish cream. Do you use cream in your coffee, Sissy? Pat says that's interesting, Falcon. I think the course is actually for right now. Interesting that you feel it's outdated. And it says laughter is the key. If you had to get a job in an apartment, do you have the adaptability to get into the right mind frame? Is there things that come up to your head? Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. There is no small amount of self doubt. There are lots of judgments against myself. There is, man, you name an issue. I'm not. I have not transcended any issue that I've ever had. However, um, I'm no longer stuck in any issue that I've had. So I can have those self doubts. I can say same thing that you've said, Evan, that I struggle to connect with people, that um, I'm behind. I can have all those thoughts. The difference is at this point in my life, I can ask myself, is it true? Do I have to relate to my doubts or can I relate to something other that is also present, something that is wise, compassionate, infinitely kind? So by cultivating, the mind is split. You have the ego, and the ego has been created by judgment. And you have the right mind. The course would call it the Holy Spirit. You can call it Krishna consciousness. You can call it Buddha consciousness, the Tao, whatever. Miss Flipper loves universal inspiration. I can turn to that, and there's not a single doubt in that right mind. There's not a single doubt in the right mind. And the truth is, all the doubt belonging to the ego don't really exist. Said Abraham Lincoln, who said something along the lines of, um, uh, "My life has been full of tragedy and misfortune, most of which never happened." I agree with you, Kat. The course is always for right now. The course can't be outdated. Um, it's like an impossibility. Now, people can struggle with the language, but the language is done that way, very, very specific. The course is speaking in Shakespearean tones, so that if it were to be spoken in the vernacular of today, people 200 years ago, 200 years in the future wouldn't understand. But classical language, the language of Shakespeare, iambic perimeters, right? Uh, never go out of date. Plus, it increases our concentration. We can't gloss over it. If it was written in, a very easygoing style, you wouldn't concentrate. Just page after page after page, right? This was me imitating flipping pages, by the way. You couldn't see it because my hand was over here. You would just flip page after page after page. And it wouldn't sink in. But it is written in a way to cause you to concentrate. That's like saying the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. Krishna. What did he know? That was way back then. Bhagavad Gita is outdated. For something that speaks past the ego to the mind, to the soul, can never be outdated. That's why we are still reading the Upanishads 5,000 years later, that we are still studying writings of the Kabbalists thousands of years later. This is why the Dhammapada from the Buddhism 2,500 years ago is still a classic. Wisdom is perennial, said Huxley. Lady Sky says, oh, your thoughts? That was good, Lady Sky. That was, you know what? I really appreciated you sharing that. For one, it made me feel good that like the things that we talk about actually have meaning to all of us. So it was really good. And you know, being hit with his stick is an old Zen trick. Hey, Nat. Good afternoon from Brazil. You are the second person in 2 days to come in from Brazil. Not outdated for everyone, of course. There are still folks trapped in the illusion. God bless them. If you're here, you're trapped in the illusion. If you have a body, you're trapped in the illusion. If you have a single judgment in your mind, you're trapped in the illusion. Guess what? It's okay to be trapped in the illusion. This is where we learn. This is where we should be right now so that we don't stay here for eternity. Staying here for eternity is impossible. The truth is, as soon as we talk about an illusion, we're talking about an illusion, which means it doesn't really exist. When you were 47, were you working and did you like your job? Did you ever think of changing it? At 47, I had my own business. I was doing pretty good. Lady Sky says, the past can't hurt you, but the way you see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Good movie quote from Disney's Lion King. It was. Because not every message or moment is easy going, and we can't possibly be exactly the same all the time. We aren't meant to live a cookie cutter lifestyle as creative beings. Agreed, Sissy. Hey, Jamie. Cat's laughing says, sorry, buddy, you're still here with us mere mortals. Hey, Corner Clubhouse, how are you, my friend? Mustafa. That's okay, my friend. How did you get into your business? A basement full of kettlebells. Literally. I've stumbled into almost everything in my life. I had a basement full of kettlebells. I wanted more time to write. I needed more time to be a caregiver for my mom. And my wife at the time said, you know, you can throw kettlebells in your car and you can train anyone, anywhere. So I started a business, fitness business. I was a certified personal trainer. I was a certified kettlebell sport coach. I was a certified kettlebell instructor. And I had the fitness tools. Hey, Mustafa. I would go to people's houses. We would do yoga. We would do kettlebells. We would do body weight stuff. I would train athletes. I would train people who just wanted to get fitter, stronger. I trained a lot of ultra runners, track athletes. I trained 2 middle school football wrestlers who went on to be state champions in high school, get college scholarships. Uh, One wrestled in the tournaments. I forget what they called, and both of them are now professional rugby players. And I still send them programs on occasion to train their father. Still, the father's the only person that I'm currently working with right now. He's been with me since 2004, 22 years. Um, but yeah, I stumbled into it. Same way I stumbled into my YouTube channel, uh, the jobs that I had before. Eric, this is what I thought you should do, but you've already done it. Yeah, I'm 60 now, man. I just want to. It sounds wrong to say I just want to coast, right? I want to coast into a year and what, 4 months, a year and 4 months, and I collect Social Security that I paid into. Not a lot, but it should be enough. And when I say coast, doesn't mean that I don't want to do anything. I want to do this. I want to connect with people. I want to share. I want to bring guests up and talk and have conversations so that people can say, yes, uh, I'd love to try Course in Miracles, or yes, I would love to learn to meditate, or my life would be a little more easier if I did some breath work, or hey, maybe I could be a shaman, or maybe there's something in shamanism that offers something to me that maybe whoever comes up has a little something that can make my life a little easier. So this is what I want to do. And my YouTube channel is actually finally becoming something that like resonates completely 100%. Uh, as if I just was given this great nod, do this. Hey Sandeep, very nice brother. I'd love to meet you. Thank you, my friend. Adam says I cannot produce a certification for nuts if I wasn't very experienced and nuttiness. I think you should have your own certification workshop, Adam. I think you should certify others in nuttiness. Mustafa says, Lady Sky, how are things going with your neighbor? Jamie, how's your workouts going? Where are your pull-up numbers now? Are you mainly working for weight, or are you gonna increase your reps, or both? Hey, Cajun. Cajun Story says, "Hey, all, it's been some time. Hope you're all as well. Hope you're well too." Lady Sky, I'm fine, but my sister's having a hard time fighting the illness. She has a very serious disease. Prayers for your sister, Mustafa. Thank you, Falcon. Thank you for making Falcon. Thank you for being one of the peoples uh, that makes my channel that way. Mustafa says, Lady Sky, I always wish you the best. Uh, it will work out because I care about you. Sissy says, I've also been drawn into shamanism my entire life. Even my father's father, spoke with me about it when I was 12 and again when I was 16. Wow. It's a fascinating path. You know, the original yogis were shamans. They were attuned to the universal forces. They were able to listen. They trained themselves to get very still. Hey, Space, good afternoon to you, my friend. Adam says, feeling great, Sandy. Thanks, and you? Guys, let me throw it out there one more time. Our friend Lady Sky is going to be pulling cards tonight. It's been a while. Um, so if you have any questions, tarot questions, Lady Sky says, thank you, Mustafa, for caring about me. We got some love from Falcon. Thank you, my friend. Adam says, I was very glad to hear your shaman talk about schizophrenia and shamanism in tribal Africa. That's what schizophrenics become, is shamans. He alluded to something like that, right? Since he says there's so much more to dive into than one topic here, it is becoming more universal, yet grounded simultaneously. Thank you for that. That's what I hope. I want to be specifically diverse. Does that make sense, or did I just like pull that out of my butt? Solana says, "I hope you'll pray for domestic peace." I will, Solana. I will pray for domestic peace. I pray that those who are not in domestic peace can find a way out of it, can find a way of the situation where they are right now. Anna says hi to Solana. Sandeep says, very good afternoon, Anna. This guy says, not me. I don't have tarot cards on hand, Yogi. Mustafa says, Eric, please ring the bell and pray for all the people facing illness around the world. Perhaps you can help them by praying our hearts, and this can make things much better. Guys, anyone who is sound sensitive, bell adverse, ringing adverse, we're going to ring the bell 3 times. Go ahead and turn the volume down. Let's give it a moment. 3 times. As Mustafa said, this is for anyone facing illness. As Salina says, this is for anyone who is facing any kind of domestic unease, lack of peace in their life. Prayers. Ring the bell for the snow to go away. Nature's going to take its course, and Lady Sky. Sorry. As you can tell, I'm easily confused. How's the weather, Lady Sky? Adam says, Lady Sky, I'm a pure, maybe brown sugar for cheap coffee. Yeah, I never put brown sugar in coffee before. That actually does sound kind of good. Maple sugar. From India, but don't know yoga. That is the birthplace. You have any interest in learning, Sandeep? 21 degrees. Yeah, that snow's going to be there for a little bit, right? We're going to wrap things up in a couple minutes, guys. Again, we'll be back with Lucy pulling cards. Tomorrow we have, speaking of shamans, Nadine Callis, who is a quantum shaman, practices quantum shamanism. She deals with vibrations and sound healing, sound medicine. We're going to talk quite a bit about sound healing. If you guys have any interest in that. Then Squirrel Sniper. Friday's going to be big. I got two guests. Elaine Felvey, and we're going to talk all things Course in Miracles, and Nanette Tierhart. and we're going to talk. You guys remember Nanette? Nanette she was my most watched live stream up until um, Tina Spalding. Tina Spalding, guys, 2,000 views on that live stream. Sissy says, I already partake, so I'll be curious to hear their take. Me too. I will be curious afterwards to hear your take on their take. Not like in a, you know, in a sort of compare and contrast. So yeah, Nanette was a whole lot of fun to talk with. She is just, she's energetic. She's knowledgeable. She's empathetic and compassionate. So 2 guests tomorrow, Saturday. Nava Raphael, she's an actress, but she's also a student of A Course in Miracles, and she is an animal communicator. If you're like me and you think that your cats are talking about you behind your back, they probably are. I want to know what they're saying and why they're saying it. I give them food, give them shelter, I give them water. Man, I pick up their poop. Not like because I collect it or anything, but so they don't have to. They got a fresh box to poop in a couple times a day. Well, not a couple times a day, but like a couple times a week to have a fresh box. And they're talking about me behind my back. Is your dog laughing about you behind your back? Are you not in on the joke? Cats do talk a lot of shit. They do talk a lot of shit, don't they? They do. So see, you're right about that. Understood, Bro Star. Thank you, Sissy. Diddy Sky says, I'm looking forward to the animal guest person, Yogi, on Saturday. And Sunday, we have another channeler. She channels the universal message of love from Jesus. You might be saying, nope, that's impossible. Reserve judgment. Listen, find out. Sandy says, I've subscribed to your channel, brother. Tell me your live time every day. I can join you. I'm live every day, 3 times a day. I'm never late. I'm always here exactly when I say I'm going to be here. If my live stream says I'll be here at 5 in the morning, I am here at 4:59:59. I'm 1 second early. Everyone here can vouch for the fact. Never late. Maybe a minute late or 2. I'm seldom ever later than 5 minutes. 10 minutes max. Occasionally a little bit longer. I think everyone here can vouch for that, right? So I'm live at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, US, 5 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 5:25 p.m. every day. Thank you, Mustafa. This says, congratulations, Eric. What did I do? Sissy says, please not spam or copy paste the same message over and over. May be raw and blessed. I agree. Sandeep, I appreciate the subscription. Adam always drinks fresh ground coffee and sometimes spend too much for the really good stuff. Organic instant coffee is one of the more expensive things it's not expensive. It's just, it costs more than a lot of the other stuff that I buy. We're getting a Jim Carrey voice. I sense a little doubt. I sense a little sarcasm in your voice there, Sissy. Adam says, didn't know I had a weakness, did you? This guy says, what brand of coffee? Danny's getting a little bit of snow. I think we have like the last I saw like a 23% chance of snow. Kat says it's so unfair of you to say all those obnoxious things while I'm driving and cannot properly respond. Hmm. Serendipitous. Worked out in my favor for a change. Mustafa says, Eric, we can extract honey from bees, but we can extract beauty and kindness from you. Thank you, Mustafa. That's so kind of you to say. I hope you include yourself in that as well. Cece says, blessings to you, Sandeep. You're welcome, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's wrap things up. Adam says 8 o'clock is the bare minimum. Sometimes I go to rotisseries. I have my 1 cup a day at 4 o'clock ish. Sissy says, all in fun and jest, dear friend, always. One thing I never doubt the kindness, the sincerity of my friends. Sissy says, nope, all in fun and jest. I read that. Lady Sky says, I drink French roast flavor coffee brand yogi. I like French roast. Yep, organic coffee. Coffee, especially nowadays, coffee can have brand coffee can have microplastics and other stuff in it. Almost everything it seems has microplastics nowadays. Mustafa says, everyone, I love you, the family of Yogi. Thank you all for being part of this family. Organic coffee enema is a real health thing. Best way to clean liver, it requires a professional though. Deepak Chopra's brother wrote a book on coffee for health. Not enemas, I don't believe. I didn't read the book. Sandeep says, your live is very interesting, brother. Many information is here. How can I miss this live stream? I hope you definitely come back and visit, my friend. Never heard of organic coffee before? Yep, now I drink instant coffee. I actually like it. It's easier. I like the sound. Now I do like percolated coffee. I love the smell of percolated coffee. Check out Gerson Clinic. Seriously. Uh, and Sissy says, sincerely, thank you for your kindness, Sandy. Absolutely. All right, guys. I hope you come by, get a card read, hang out with Lucy. I'll be here too. Folgers is a good brand. I heard it's the best part of waking up. Love to you too. All right, guys. We'll see everyone later. Take care. Oh, Taster's Choice. All of it's good. Take care, guys.